in Kenya, right, they drive on the wrong side of the road. So
And the wrong side.
yeah, the US is the right side, Kenya is on the wrong side of the road.
That was a culture shock.
So it looks strange because.
Hey guys, welcome to our YouTube channel, Frida and Lavosia. Remember to subscribe, remember to like, remember to leave a comment, share with your friend, and you can hit a notification bell for new or upcoming videos. So stay tuned. Today we're gonna talk about culture shock in America. So stay tuned. So my husband will be talking about how driving is in America.
So when we came to the US from Kenya, we realized that in the US they drive on the right side of the road, but in Kenya they drive on the left side of the road. So the joke says that in Kenya, right, they drive on the wrong side of the road. So
And the wrong side.
yeah, the US is the right side, Kenya is on the wrong side of the road.
That was a culture shock.
So it looks strange because you need some time to get used to it. The turn signal is on the left side and the wipers on the right side, but in Kenya it's the opposite. So when you are driving, realize that instead of turning on the wiper, you're turning on the signal. So it becomes very interesting, but with time you get used to it.
If around start laughing, what's happening? It's not ready. And you're turning on the wipers.
Yeah, the cars are quite different to the ones in Kenya.
Sure. Another thing is social life here. It's so different from Kenya. Most people they lead kind of individualistic kind of life. If you want to find people, you go to a shopping center. But on the street, you can only see cars moving up and down, but we don't have people. It's like a desert. So that's another shock here.
Okay, another shock that we encountered was the credit card system. In Kenya, you are used to, when you go to buy something, just pay cash. But in the US, you rarely see cash. In fact, you never handle hard cash. Always buy using credit card.
Yeah.
So, like, you are forced to borrow
Yeah.
something.
So strange.
Even just buying simple things like food,
Yeah.
you have to use a credit card.
Yeah.
So there's something bad debt and good debt. So you're encouraged to have good debt. That is borrowing money and then returning it. So you can build a credit history. Then so you can be able to buy
like a home,
like a house,
a home,
or a big car, or a car,
yes.
or the sort.
Yeah.
But in Kenya, everything is cash. You want to get a house, you buy your plots, build your house, you own it.
Yeah, yes, you have to build your credit history.
Yeah.
And if you don't have a good credit history, you'll not even buy that dream car you want. You cannot buy that home you want because your credit history is poor. What that means that they don't trust you that you are able to pay the mortgage. They don't trust you that you are able to pay maybe the remaining portion of the car bill or car, whatever is remaining to be paid. So credit history is just a way they wanna trust. They are showing them you can pay. In other words, if your credit history is poor, means you cannot pay. So there's no point of you going to buy a car, because here they don't. Even when you have all money to buy something, they don't want that. They don't want you to get pay the hard cash. Yeah, that's so strange. Another thing is food. When we came, food was really strange. I remember checking in one of the restaurants, and it was a Chinese restaurant. The food was very, very challenging. The taste, very, very challenging to the taste. But we got used to it.
The food looks, by sight it looks good, but if you put it in the mouth, it tastes different because they use different spices. So
Yeah.
find out that the food is not, at first, it's not palatable.
Yeah.
So you have to, it takes getting used to the food to start eating in those restaurants. Otherwise, you just make food in the house and survive.
And then talk about tips, use of tips.
Yeah, so the next culture shock we had was that there is tips. Like if you go to a restaurant or somebody gives you a service, you have to give him some money.
I know, that's
So
crazy.
I used to, like in Kenya, if you are served in a restaurant, those waiters are paid, so you don't get to bother to give them anything. But here, when you are served in a restaurant, you must give a tip. If you don't give a tip, it's like it looks strange. I've heard of people even being harassed because of that, not giving tips. Tips are like the order of the day here.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Another thing I can add on the restaurant thing that what I've experienced. So when a friend invites you to go join him or her, maybe for a meal, a dinner out in a restaurant, be ready to pay for that meal. Some people, they'll pay for you, but whatever I have encountered, if there's a friend who invited me to go eat together with her somewhere in a restaurant. So when we order the food, it's like, you have to pay your food. I'm not paying food for you. You have to pay for your food. Yeah? So it was a little strange, because in Kenya, if you invite somebody, like in a hotel or restaurant, you will cater for that. But here it's a little different. Not everyone does that, but most of the people do that. And then another thing is school uniform. In Kenya, every student, pupil, will wear school uniform. Here, some states, in fact, majority of the states, students are not required to put on uniforms. They are not required to put on uniforms. So it's a little bit strange here. So yeah.
Yeah, I think uniform is not really in some school districts. It's not mandatory to have uniform. So you just put on your home clothes, and it's like very normal.
Yeah, it's like you're going to church every day.
No, very normal.
Yeah.
So another thing, another shock we had here was that when you go to buy something, the price that you see, the price that's real price, because there is tax there is tax which is included that is not seen on the
Hidden.
On the price that's displayed.
Mm-hmm.
Like let's say buy something which is like $500. When you go to pay, you see the price has gone high.
$520.
If you ask why, you be told this is tax.
Yeah.
So you must always have that safety net
It's a shock.
in your pocket.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's strange. And another thing here is employing house help. It's a little challenging because they are very expensive. In Kenya, it's very easy to get house help. They will help you in the house, but in US, it's very, very expensive. If you hire somebody to take care of your house or stuff in the house, you're gonna pay that person a lot of money. But like a half of your salary goes into paying the nanny or somebody to take care of your home or your house. So it's very, very expensive. It's not as easy as it. So what we do is like we help each other around and make it through the day, make it through the other day, and that's how we do it.
Yeah, so in Kenya, you can just sit like a king. And your house help takes care of everything. Takes care of the baby, takes care of the food, takes care of the laundry. But when it comes to the US, it's quite different.
Yeah, you come back from job, you're supposed to take care of the kids, you're supposed to cook, you're supposed to do laundry, you're supposed to go shopping, you look at their homework. Hey, it's
so you can't find cheap labor to employ here, so you just have to step up and help each other. Mm-hmm. I know that there's some men who, when they come from Kenya,
they think they're kings.
They are used to sitting
with the peppers,
with the remote control and watching TV. But when you come to the US, you just have to step in and help in the house, help with the kids, help with the food. It is very normal here.
In fact, we have some homes where one of the parents will decide to resign and stay home, like a stay-home dad stay-home mom. So you resign so that you can take care of your kids, because sometimes taking the kids to daycare is much more expensive. So people choose one person to stay at home, another person to go work. So yeah,
yes.
that's the rule. Yeah.
So another shock we had here was the metric system. So in Kenya, we are used to like meters, kilograms, kilometers. When you come here, you find like that instead of saying meters, they talk about things like miles, yards. So to adjust is a bit hard because you are used to the metric system. Like even weights, they talk about pounds.
I know, I work in a healthcare, so every time we weigh our patients, like you put in kilograms, what is that? And then you convert in pounds. Oh yeah, that's true. So it's like also strange to them, but yeah,
even the temperature.
Fahrenheit.
Temperature they use Fahrenheit. So you hear things like 70 degrees Fahrenheit, 70 degrees. They just say 70 degrees. But Kenya, we are used to Celsius, so they just say 30 degrees. So when you hear figure like 70, figures look off until you realize that they're using Fahrenheit. That's when you now adjust and get used to the system.
Yeah, exactly. And another thing is about homelessness in the US. People think US is heaven on earth. Oh my God, it's not. We have homeless people here. We have people begging for food. We have people begging for money. Homelessness here is very easy to be somebody to be homeless, because if you don't have work, it means you cannot pay your bills. It means you cannot pay your rent. So you have to maintain or keep your job for you to be able to pay bills. And so many people are homeless because they cannot keep their jobs, or one reason or another they cannot be employed. Some of them have been drug addicts. So they don't have money. The only place they can go is the shelter building.
Homeless shelters.
Homeless shelter.
And those shelters, they have rules. So most of them, we don't want to be there because they want to be free. So they end up on the streets.
Another culture shock. This one is, I find it a little strange. That if you are found on the wrong side of the law, and the police get hold of you, you'll be jailed. And what that means that your history, what do you call history, is spoiled. Anytime you go look for a job, you not get a job because of the criminal history. So that history stays with you the rest of your life. So it really affects people who have been jailed, and maybe they are done with their term, they are out. So they cannot get jobs because of that. In Kenya, you can always, nobody keeps your history, right?
Here they keep the record, so that if you are on the wrong side of the law, there is a record attached to your social security.
I know, it's really bad.
Or something.
It's really bad.
So when you go look for a job, the first thing the employer does is what's called background check.
Yeah, and every job you apply for, there is always written, have you ever been jailed? Have you been like this? Have you violated this and this? So it's always there. It's like, it's not good, I would say that.
So you must always keep on the right side, because if you make a mistake, it goes to your record and it affects your whole life.
I know. Even if you are just a high school student, and then you're about to get to college, that record is attached to you.
Yeah.
It will never leave you.
But in Kenya, people can go to jail, and next day
they're working.
They are they're working, or they are doing something for the community. You find that somebody is arrested, he's been prosecuted, they found guilty, he's gone to jail. Next after jail, you find him out.
Working.
He's working.
Yeah, it's very challenging.
Yeah, you must just observe the law, and
if you break a law, like in one of the states here, your record will apply everywhere. We have 50 states. So if you make you break a law in, let's say, which state, like for example, Florida, and you go to Washington, that does not mean that the record that they have in Florida will not follow you in Washington. So it's like it's become part and parcel of you and affect your life a great deal. Yeah.
And so that makes people become very sensitive what they do, and they become very conscious, so that they obey the law.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah.
So those are some of the culture shocks we had here in US, and they are still there. We are getting used to them, and we have a lot more, but we chose just to share a few with you so that you know that the US is not heaven on earth. It has its own bad side, and well, we just choose to adopt and live our life the way we're supposed to live. And thank you so much for watching.
Thank you for watching our video, and please help us to get to 1,000 subscribers, and we shall be glad to give you more and more content.
Sure, support us. Yeah, so remember to subscribe. As I said, remember to share with your friend. Remember to leave a comment, like, and notification bell ring, and press it or click on it, and you'll get more notification for the upcoming video. Alrighty?
Thank you. Bye. See you next time.